I don't have good execution, and then I just don't even understand like the some of the core. There's like fundamentals of the game that people talk about, but those things are like some of them it's like, oh, you only need to worry about that way later. Some of them it's like, no, now, and then yeah, it's just a lot of things to grab at the same. Feels like a lot to grab at the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what
There's
I
a
mean?
lot. There's a lot. It's kind of the you know how like I don't know if you know like the stereotypes and stuff, but like basically people who play Tekken usually only play Tekken, and then like a lot of other fighting game players like usually don't touch Tekken or things like that. Like that's kind of
Right,
why is like there's like so much. And like well like for some people it's a turn off. For some people it's like that's the reason they play the game. So
right. I enjoy the game a lot, but
perfect.
I'm getting my ass beat. So,
Yeah. All right. So let me send you my beginners list, and we can go through and talk about it.
do you want me to like share anything? I don't know how you want to run this.
Yeah. So for now, let's walk through this together, and then we can just talk about each thing.
Okay.
Let me know when you have it open.
Yep, it's open.
Cool. All right. So, do you know like the Tekken notation for like moves, like one, two, three,
Yeah.
four? Okay, cool.
Yep.
That's like the first thing usually because it's kind of hard to talk about it unless that is up there, right? So good thing we have that. Let me okay, make sure the VOD has this info. Okay, cool. So you got that part. That's good. Comfortable in engine. I'm assuming we're probably around here where like you're still learning combos, things
Right.
like that.
Yeah. I have some consistent combos and some not so consistent. It depends on which combo it is.
Okay.
So like the down forward two combo I can do,
Mm-hmm.
but then there's the one that I've been trying for while rising three that I am like 50%
Okay.
at, and then I have a few counter hit combos as well that I'm decently consistent at.
That's
But
pretty good.
yeah.
What's your down forward two combo and what's your while standing three combo?
Oh man, I am not gonna know off the top of
Oh,
my
you're
head
good. You're
other
good.
than it's muscle memory. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like
Try do that as a fun exercise. Try doing it like with your hand in your head, and then like tell me each thing.
yeah, down forward
Uh
two,
huh.
the forward three. No, down forward two. No, down forward two,
Uh huh.
back four.
Okay.
I think 1 3
Yeah.
forward three, and then from oh no, it's like
It's like 1 3 forward, and
forward
then you
one
do
two.
the
Yeah, one. It's like 1 2 1. It's the dash. I forget what it's called. It's the stance, the dash stance.
yeah
1 2 1. He gets the
the
what is it
tailspin
called
there.
again? The spiral mechanic.
Yeah, tailspin or screw.
Tailspin. That's the one. The screw, and then run in forward four, 4 3.
Cool.
So the little backflip kick.
Uh,
You know what I'm talking about?
yeah. So you can do that combo with while standing three or while
Oh, I
rising
can.
three.
Okay.
Yeah. So I asked mainly to figure out like okay, why isn't this working? So yeah, I do. That's basically the combo I do when I play Kuni. There's some modifications, but that's not as important right now. So
Okay.
yeah.
I like that one then, because the one that I end with a kunai, I don't like it because I often end up
Side changing.
at the wall. Yeah,
Yeah,
side
yeah. And
changing.
that's a good point. You want to maintain wall position, so that combo isn't always ideal. So
Okay.
let me make the modification. So I'll share this all in like text and stuff like that. So what you gave me was this. Uh, let's see, something like this, right? Down 4 2, back four. That puts you in back turn.
Yep.
And you do 1 3 forward. That puts you in set stance. One
Yep.
2 1 does screw. Usually people
That's
know.
exactly it.
I
Yeah.
usually never notate screw, but here. So there you go.
Um.
So here's the modification I propose. This is what I do, and is same here. 1 3 forward set. I just do put it in bold here. Sorry. Let's see. Set 4. put the part that's changed in bold.
Okay.
Basically, what it
So
is instead of doing the 1-2-1, I go into set and just hit 1, and then I do forward 4 forward, go into set again, and then just hit 2.
okay,
It's a bit more stable in a
got
lot
it.
more situations, and it should be the exact same damage. When I was first
Can
learning
I
Kuni,
ask you
yeah,
one thing? Sometimes out of the 1-3
yeah,
set,
yeah,
I end up. I don't know. It happens very rarely, but I end up underneath
yeah. You
the
slide past them.
slide past them.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
you know
So
if
there's
that's a
some
timing
there's
thing?
some axis things and timing things there.
Okay.
Usually, I think in my experience with Kuni, it's a timing thing, or sorry, it's an axis thing.
Access.
But
Okay.
you can delay it slightly to make it a lot more consistent, or there are other axis combos we can learn eventually. Um,
Okay. Cool.
when we
If I
if
sidestep, it's typically when I notice it. So that makes sense.
right,
Why
right.
it
So
would
the
be.
axis is a bit skewed. So we'll if it keeps happening, send me like a clip, and then we can like find a modification. My
Nice.
modification for off axis isn't optimal. I don't have optimal Kuni combos, but um, I would do like down forward 2, back 4, back turn, and then I just do 2 3 through.
Okay.
So
Cool.
this is my modification, but again, I'm not an optimal Kuni player. I just know what I was learning when I first picked her up. Do
Okay.
you watch other players?
Not really. Occasionally, like I'll just open up Twitch, and if somebody's playing,
Yeah,
I'll take a peek. But
yeah,
it's usually while I'm a programmer for my day job, so
yeah.
it's typically like in the background. I just kind of glance over.
Yeah. I feel that. So I will send you a list of players after this to look at.
Okay.
That'll help you both start seeing optimal combos more, and then it just gives it provides a reference point because like you said, there's so much fucking shit. So
Yeah.
looking at high level players gives the reference point that really
Oh yeah.
locks
I
in
don't think
everything.
I've ever seen anyone play Kuni. Anyone that's I've seen live is just playing someone completely different that I know nothing about. So that's good to
Yeah.
know.
So the main Kuni players are Ao from Japan, um, Speed Kicks from NA, um, Arslan Ash is playing her a little bit right now. Um, and they all kind of do it differently. But so you'll get Chanel from Korea. So you'll get to see a lot of styles and things like that. I'll put that down
Okay.
while I remember. Let's see.
Nice.
Let's see. Ow, speed kicks, smash. No. All right. So let's go back to the priority list. Um,
Once you're comfortable, we'll build a basic toolkit.
yes.
That is, I think I'm not there.
Okay. Yeah.
So
So
I've
what
yeah.
if anything do you know about frames in this game?
I know that if your attack comes out before if somebody hits you, you block it. They're recovering, and if I have an attack that comes out faster than their recovery, then I punish. That's about what I know. So I don't know like I couldn't tell you what are the specific frame punishes. I just know like the down four twos 12 frames,
Mm-hmm.
which is like
It should be
I think
15.
it's
Should be 15.
15. Sorry,
Yeah.
15 frames. So if there's something I see that looks very slow visually,
Mm-hmm.
I tend to try to throw it out.
There you go.
Other things that seem to recover quickly, I just hit jab or two. Sorry, that's 12 frames, right? Two, not down
Two,
forward
two,
two.
correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So I try hitting one or two. If it doesn't work, I go for a faster punish. I don't really have but it's typically a jab, a down forward one, or a two. And
Yeah.
I
So
know that
that's
there's like
your
forward.
intuition is on point. So yeah,
Okay.
like if you're the frames in this game, like some moves when blocked provide advantage where they can act
Hmm.
first. Some provide disadvantage where the defender can act first. If the act first window is greater than 10 frames, so usually -10 is where we consider the threshold of punishability. Everything in this game has an exception because one character has some crazy shit, but that's the main thing. So 10 frames is the threshold like uh of punishability. And then
Okay.
we say I10 as like denoting like it in 10 frames, I think is where it came from. But basically
So
I10 means starts up in 10 frames.
what is punish? What's the? Say it one more time. So
Yeah.
If I'm minus 2, is that punishable?
No. So -10
Okay.
is the threshold.
Okay, -10. Got
So
it.
let me here. I'll share my screen so you can see what I'm typing.
So then why I'm looking at your screen. Yeah.
Yeah. So -10 is the threshold of punishability.
Got it.
And so this is where we form the basis of our gameplay. So when you see something is -10, your 1-2-2 string is guaranteed.
Okay.
Right. The reason that is because jab starts up in 10 frames, and 1-2-2 is what we call a natural combo, where if the first hit hits and you just do the whole thing, it all hits.
Okay.
Right. So that is our 10 frame punisher. And then in general, again, there are exceptions. 15 frames is what we call the threshold of like launch punish. AKA, usually if something is -15, most characters will launch you. So for Kunimitsu's case, your down forward 2 or up forward 3 are guaranteed. And that has how you start a combo.
Interesting.
Mhm.
But that has to be very tight, right? Because if it's down for 2 is 15 and they're -15, that's like a very small
Yeah, so
window before
it
get it out.
depends. In
Okay.
Tekken has a buffer system where if you input the attack in advance, it will still come out after a certain time. So
Got it.
usually what
Okay.
happens with punishment is you will block some. It's not like other games where you will block something and then you have to mash your input or something. In Tekken, I mean, usually that's what people do, but in Tekken, you block the move and then you can input it at some, I don't know the number for the buffer, but some frames in advance, and then it will come out as soon as your character is actionable.
Got it. Okay.
So what the factor is that makes it hard or easy to punish is the block stun. So some moves will be -15, but recover really quickly. So you have to register that they did the move and you blocked it, and then start mashing that punish. So there are some characters with really, really fast moves that can be -15, but by the time if you haven't practiced it, by the time it clicks that they did it, you're like already in the next interaction. And there are some characters who are -15, and your both characters are standing there and they play some stagger animation, but it's actually punishable. Those are really easy.
Got it. Okay.
So, or like some launch punishable moves come out of a string. So like they'll do 3 hits and the third one is punishable by launch. So that's a bit easy. As opposed to somebody doing like a quick shoulder move. I don't know if you've seen the shoulder moves in this game, but they'll do like it's like a giant one hit and yeah, like giant one hit, and then you're like, oh wait, shit, that was punishable. So that's how that works.
Okay, that makes sense.
So for Kuni, I just gave you the punches here 1-2-2, and you're down 4-2 and up 4-3. Now, obviously, there are a million freaking characters and a lot to see. So I'll talk about how we're gonna approach that. But when I was learning the game, and they've made it really weird in Tekken 7, but basically, the intuition I use is if a string ended in a mid, try to punish. And visually, I don't know if you can tell, but I think in this game, visually, most of the time, you can kind of determine if it's a mid or a high based on when you blocked it. Did it hit near your head? Does it look like it's hitting near your stomach? That kind of thing.
Yeah, I think I can tell.
Some, not to rant, but this game has done a lot of things that kind of like change that, where like the animations are ambiguous. So it's always good to check it out in the lab.
I've seen some mids to me that looked like lows, but I don't think I've seen mids that I thought were highs.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of like highs that I duck, and then it turns out they're mid. I'm like, wait, what?
Got it. Okay.
So it happens, but it's just another reason to be diligent about it instead of like me trying to shortcut it. So back to the decency list here. Yeah, once we're comfortable, so I-10 punish, you see something's -10, you do 1-2-2. A launch punish, the fastest combo starter, down 4-2 in this case, up 4-3, and then we also need punishes from when we block lows. So the game calls it while rising, the community calls it while standing. Don't ask me why. It's weird. Okay. So, well, I know the reason why. Well, the notation WR was used to determine while running, or like when you do go into that full run from a distance, or if you tap forward 3 times and do it instantly. So they use WS for while standing. I
Okay.
feel like it should have been while running and while sprinting, but that doesn't matter. Or while rising and while sprinting. It doesn't.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I'm young, so my opinion doesn't matter. So yeah, your fastest Punisher when you block a low. This topic is kind of interesting because usually, most characters have like a while standing 1-2 or while standing 1 or something, and that's like a minus 13 punish. Okay, so in Cooney's case, this is while standing 1-1. There are a lot of lows that aren't punishable by that. So you also need to know that while standing 4 is for minus 11. And then your 15 frame is while standing 3.
Okay.
So, same thing for while standing punishes. If you block a low, I usually try while standing 1-1. Well, I'll try while standing 3 first, right? And if that's not working, then I'll try while standing 1-1. And then if that isn't working, then I'll do while standing 4.
Got it. Cool.
And then, yeah, so this is what I'm saying. Try your launch punishes first. If they get blocked, go down the list of your faster punishes.
So there's no so I noticed you all of those are while standing, so there is no like full crouch punishes
For Cooney,
right?
they don't make sense to do.
Okay. Got it.
Because the full crouch punishes are usually slow. And so
Okay.
by the time you could do a full crouch down forward 3 as a punish, you could have done while standing 3. Now there is like a mind game where like you block a minus 11 low and your opponent stays standing because, you know, they're like, oh, well, it's time for me to take my while standing 4 punish. Then you do the sweep. That's some like metagaming shit that's like not really solid, so I usually don't teach it. But
Okay, yeah.
it's an option that exists. You could block a minus 11 low and then be like Lamau sweep. Like,
Cool.
yeah, Europe loves doing that. So it's a valid thing, but I usually just don't emphasize it. It's like it's one of those things you use once in a while versus like making it a habit because then it becomes real nasty. But yeah.
Cool.
So cool. So we have that. Now let's look at number 3. The only combos you really need are for B and D. Once you get these reliably, you can look into a couple of launches that only work counter hit. What you told me is you know a down forward 2 combo and a while standing 3 combo, so you're kind of set. You
B and D, that's for the 15 frame.
Oh, sorry, yeah. For
Okay.
yeah, your 15 frame launch and your 15 frame while standing. So that's good. The only combos that are probably worth also knowing on Cooney are set 2 counter hit combo. I'm gonna put this here. Down forward 2, while standing 3 combo. You want a set 2 counter hit combo.
Okay.
And then
I have a set 3
3 counter hit combo. Yeah, that was the other one. Let's see.
But my set 3 counter hit combo ends in kunai, which I don't find ideal.
So usually what I do for my set 3 combo is I do this down forward 2 combo that I gave you, the bolded one. Let me see.
Okay.
Let me find this. So my set 3 combo looks a lot like the exclamation means counter hit, right? Do while standing 2 4 is also the screw. And then I'll do this set 1 thing again. Forward, set 1, and then forward 4. Oh, but you can't do the screw, right? Then you just switch to this. That is my set 3 counter hit combo.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. And then yeah, set 2 combo. I have not done enough labbing to be really serious about it, but set 2 I do counter hit, and then I start doing these forward 4, forward 1s into forward 4, forward 3, depending on how many hits I can get. I kind of just fill it out.
Okay.
If you still can't find one after watching the pro players, message me and we'll look at it.
Sounds good. I have I actually don't ever use set 2, so maybe I should be.
Move's nasty. Move's really broken. It's like
okay.
It's so this is a good reason why to talk about it. So it's -9. So first of all, so it's safe.
Okay.
That means as soon as you hold back right after, they can't get a punish on you. If you counter hit, it's a full combo. and it hits literally full screen. So,
Oh,
so
okay.
so at any time that the game is being played, your opponent has to be aware that if they hit a button to come in or something, and you choose to hit set two at that time, they're dead.
Okay.
So it's a um yeah, it's like a don't get too comfortable playing the game button.
Got
Because
it.
if they get too
Okay.
comfortable like freestyling, putting out these hitboxes and stuff, then they can get kind of. And if they continue to play that jousting game where they want to like clip you coming in, it's very easy to just dash up and then let them whiff it and then do a whiff punish down for it too.
Mm, cool.
So, priority lists here. You're almost ready to watch matches. You can pull up any pro player, knee, cuddle core, cherry, and but I'm talking specifically about these players that I gave you. Look at the moves they use to poke, which lows they're using, right? And then although the move list is pretty big, the moves generally correlate to list. This will let you help guide your focus as you watch the match and are like, oh, what move was that? Oh, is their left hand? Maybe it's like a down forward one or like a one,
Hmm.
Um, for movement, don't jump. Sidestepping is also more advanced. I played the game, got to like Tekken God or something, like not really sidestepping. So I don't recommend it until you're super comfortable with the system and you know most of the characters and you know what moves to expect. Then you apply sidestepping as like a hard counter to a subset of moves that you expect.
Got it.
Right?
I
Um,
sidestep a whole bunch, so I
yeah,
need to
yeah. The only reason to
knock that
sidestep
down.
at this point is to get away from the wall.
Got it. Okay.
So if your back is to the wall, you start prioritizing doing like little side steps into block, like a few jabs or something, or two twos to get space, and like interrupt like slow approaches, and you keep just doing small steps away from the wall. But in like general combat, it's forward and back. Um, it's just enough. It's enough to just move forward and backward using forward, forward, back to dash, and then block quickly, and then back, back to dash backward. But I am always going to recommend learning the Korean backdash. Um, have you seen any tutorials on that?
Yeah, yeah. I have okay. I mean, I can do the movements on player one,
Hmm?
but that doesn't look anything like what I see
Yeah,
people
yeah.
doing. But I
So
have the inputs come out correctly in my command history, but that's about it.
yeah, no worries. So we will just basically continue doing small chip away at that in a small way. It'll take a while, but um, it's very worth it once you have it.
Okay.
Um, give me 1 second to use the bathroom. I will keep
Yeah.
track of the time as well. Just 1 sec.
I will then go as well because I need to use the bathroom. So
Okay, cool.
cool.
Yo, I'm back.
All right.
All right, so basically now we're talking about watching players to um, provide a reference point for understanding like what you're seeing and like what you should be playing.
Yep.
Um, so I give you the list. I'll put it down again in the notes that I'm going to paste in. But yeah, these guys are basically just like the professional Kunimitsu players that bring her to tournaments and perform decently well. So even though each player is going to have flaws and like special skills, you can average out what they do, select from them, and then you'll develop. You'll develop just by imitating.
Okay. Cool. I had heard the advice previously, like uh, people told me don't watch pros because you're gonna not know what the hell they're doing. But it's good to hear that. I guess it's not such a bad idea.
Yes, so you watch them not to copy how they play necessarily exactly, but to get optimal combos, optimal punishes, and then some situational things that might be cool. Right.
Got it. Okay.
But you're not gonna be able to watch a pro and then like go into your ranked game and like backdash for like play a movement game for like 30 seconds because the other player is just gonna want to go and swing because they're not a pro, right? So like that's the difference. But you're watching for the mechanical stuff that is like fixed regardless of the level of skill. No matter what the skill is, you're gonna do the same punish, you're gonna do the same combo, right?
It's more like what buttons they're pressing, not necessarily like what game plan.
Yeah. You want to look at the buttons and you want to look at the spacings they're happening at. You want to just take in as much info as you can.
Okay.
Cool. If they just fuck up and then the opponent punishes it in some way, that gives you intel like, okay, so this is a situation where I could die, right? Like that's good to be aware of. All right, learning punishes. So this is kind of the big one. This is like when you're wanting to get strong fundamentally, this is kind of the main thing. So when how I learned and how I teach people usually is my priority for the skills to teach is whiff punishment and block punishment first. There are a few reasons for that. One is the better the player gets, better players get, the less often they do punishable moves, the less often they whiff. Good players still whiff and do punishable shit, but it just becomes a decision rather than just like an automatic thing. So when you're climbing in rank, it is efficient to grind whiff punishment and block punishment first because everybody's going to whiff and do block punishable shit. So that's usually the first approach. When I say that you can like backdash whiff punish and block punish your way to like emperor like or higher or like blue ranks, that's not hyperbole. That's like it's also not probably how you should strictly approach it, but that is my strong belief is that like those skills alone can get you up there. So
get you out of the lower ranks, you're saying?
Yeah, up to like blue ranks. I don't know if you know the whole ladder. It doesn't really matter that much. But
don't. My rank is below green. So
yeah, it doesn't matter. Like it's probably better that way. Like I wouldn't even think about rank that much.
Okay.
I say basically the way I look at ranked is it is a place where you know the other player is going to try. And that is basically just the environment we want to do because people will hop in a quick match and some people just give up or start trolling and then like you don't get good practice anymore. So the fact that you don't even know the ladder or like kind of are looking at that's good. like don't think about it too much. Just you play and we iron out things as we see them.
Cool.
So
sounds good.
This punishment training with again the context that the first things we're going to learn are whiff and block punishment. Is there's a website called Jepopotamus. It has all of the frame data and it has some more like notes on situations and frames than other websites. So it'll tell you like when a move recovers on whiff sometimes if it's ridiculous, or how many strings you have to confirm multiple hits, like or like to delay the second hit of your string. You know how like Kuni's down forward 1-2-1 for example, or down forward 1-2-2 is like delayable. It will tell you like how many frames you have to do each delay section. So like there's a lot of extra info there. If you want to go for max efficiency, this method is what I recommend. It's not as fun, but it's kind of the quickest way to get up to speed on what every character is doing. So
okay.
This is what Speedkicks did when he was learning Tag 2 back in the day. So
I clicked it, I opened it, but it is like, how are you able to know for example, I clicked on a random character here. Who did I click on? Anna, who's
Okay.
the Anna Williams, right? And then I see like, okay, jab. I'll know what that is. But then there's some other moves at the bottom, like twisting rush to sidestep. Like I feel like I'm never gonna identify that unless I pull her up in a mat, like pull her up in training mode, right?
Yeah. So
Okay,
this is not meant to be used in isolation. This is meant
got
to
it.
be used alongside. So what you're gonna do is you'll open up Jepopotamus in the tab, and then you'll open up the practice mode. So this is the step one. This just tells you how to get to setting up their move list.
Mm.
And you don't even need Jepopotamus for this part if it's your first time seeing the character. But the tool is there basically.
Oh,
And,
I see what you mean.
right.
That is useful
Yeah.
because
So
the move list doesn't have the frames.
right. And
Yeah.
some moves in the move list are hidden. Like they won't tell you they exist, which is really
Okay.
stupid. So Jepopotamus
That,
covers
yeah.
that as well. Um, Now this is kind of like an efficiency choice over like anything, but you let the move play twice and then you practice punishing it. And the goal is not to nail the punish at this point. The goal is simply to have seen the move and get the moves in your brain, like having registered it, so that when you get into a game, you have the moments of, oh shit, I've seen this before. Maybe it's like I remember I can punish this, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So this exercise is not necessarily punishment training. It is character move list familiarity training.
Got it.
And that is why I say only let it play twice and then practice punishing it the second time, because you want to get through it as quickly as possible. And that's what the next thing. Goal is to just have seen the move, have in your brain, have an idea of a punish, then in game your brain will already be primed with the correct response.
Okay.
Yeah. Um okay, for rage arts and 2D characters, you may have to select record and learn to do the move yourself because selecting it with the move list option doesn't work. It's worth the time investment. It is a bit annoying. Uh, and then I already talked a bit about it, but number 7 is how you learn punishes in game. And this is kind of probably how people were doing it before the practice mode existed when you're just in the arcades, right? You just try to punish it. If it doesn't work, it's safe, you know. And then you lower the punish until you get to jab, and if you can't jab punish it, then it's safe.
Okay.
Um, yeah. Do you have a question?
No.
Oh, okay, cool. Uh, so that's kind of the basics of everything. So just a quick recap. You already know notation. We're continuing to get comfortable in engine. Don't sleep on treasure battle and stuff like that. Like if it's just like it's like a playground mode for combos and stuff with a bit more interactivity to keep you kind of like you're hitting down forward twos when they approach. So you'll get a more realistic like spacing approximation of your combo versus always in practice mode when you reset. It's the same spacing, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So it's not a waste of time or anything to do that, especially as you're continuing to get comfortable. You'll just get a bot that's throwing hitboxes at you that you have to move around and stuff like that. So it's good. Go ahead.
I do have a question now. So, as part for the engine part, I don't know. I just completely skipped over wall combos. I don't know. I really usually don't know what to do at the wall. Is that okay for now?
Yeah, I'll just give you the wall combo. So,
Okay.
uh, so basically, there's just the wall ender. One down forward one. I don't know the input. I just hit like down 2, and then 1+2, 1+2, 1+2, or it down 2, 1, 1+2, 1+2, 1+2. The string is really like down 2, 1, 2, 1, 1+2 or something, but you can just mash 1+2 and it does the rest of it. So,
Okay.
so
Cool.
you'll see that in the programs. It's kind of hard to do after set 4-3, but if you were to do a set 1 and then they hit the wall, then this ender works pretty reliably. So feel it out. It's good to get the good wall ender. The damage is ridiculous, especially if you hit like a rage drive. Kuni could do like 75% comeback combos or something.
Oh wow.
So, let's... okay, yeah. So, getting comfortable in engine. You have now the punishes you basically need, and I will again post.
Mm-hmm.
This is really important. Punishment is so important because the moves in the game are balanced around their safety. So the reason why someone might be allowed to have a super fast mid launcher is because if you block it, you can launch them back. So that kind of makes
Mhm.
it quote fair. So if you do not have the punishment to stop an opponent from doing their crazy good moves, well, sorry, they're like high reward moves, then they basically have access to a god mode character, right? Because now they're really good they're really high reward moves have no risk associated if you don't punish them.
Mhm.
That's why punishment is important. It does a few things. You win the game if your opponent continues to throw out those moves. B, if they can't freestyle on you with their entire move list, they are starting to worry about different ways to hit you. That can either lead to more mistakes if they're not a strong player, or it gives you windows to apply your own offense, right? Because they can no longer, for example, if set two is always hitting them, a stronger player will realize, okay, I can't really challenge here. I can't, like, I'm not supposed to press here. That opens them up to you running up and doing a mix up, right?
Mhm.
So that's why punishment links everything together. If you can't punish things, then your opponent has a god character that has no weaknesses. So, yeah. Okay.
Gotcha.
If a string ended a mid, try to punish. That rule is rapidly decreasing. It's a lot of characters, but it's good to try. Especially if like they're legacy Tekken characters. Like if you see like a
Sure.
Law and he's doing a double mid string, like try and punish that. But characters like Noctis, Eddie, they have strings that go mid mid and the third hits like a punishable mid, but the first two are safe. It's really dumb.
Okay.
But that's how it is. So you'll just have to get used to it.
Yeah. I often don't even see the string end because I have a bad habit of pressing a button middle of their string,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
I get counter hit.
Yeah. So that is part of the training of focusing on whiff punishment and block punishment will amplify that because the goal becomes less of I need to hit them and the goal becomes I need to defend until they make a mistake and then I will get my damage for free based on their mistake.
Got it.
Um, so try your launch punishes first. If they get blocked, go down your list of your faster punishes. This is more applicable with lows. Also, I would say like if you see the opponent like I don't know if you block like a stagger low where you block it and their character like freezes and stumbles or whatever.
Yes, that. Um. Yeah, yeah.
If you,
I have
yeah, if you see that,
watched
that's
some
like a
of
while standing
those.
3. It should be a visual cue like I need to
Yep.
launch them.
Like snake edges and things.
Exactly.
I've yeah. Okay.
Um, we have your combos. Uh, your watching the pros will help as well.
Okay.
And then here's the set 3 combo that I use. It might not be optimal. I would watch the pros. And then yeah, watch. This is the order I would honestly watch it in. Ow, speed kicks. Ow does a lot of really fun stuff with the character, like real specialists. Really, really cool. Speed kicks is extremely
Nice.
solid. Like he learns only what he needs to win, and isn't really concerned about the other fluff. So he's like a high efficiency player. Um, Chanel's kind of a mix. Like Chanel likes doing fun stuff, but is Korean and plays with me a lot, so it's pretty solid. Um, and then Arslan Ash, like Evo Champ, things like that. He's kind of a known tier pure horror, and will like complain about characters a lot, but he will learn it if he thinks it's gonna win. So
What is it? Tier or you mean he picks like the highest
yeah,
tier?
he's like
Okay.
he's a competitor. He's like a professional. So
Like yeah.
he's not going to, and a lot of these players are, but like he's
He's
not
got
going to like
metagame
die on a
kind of
hill,
guy.
like Anakin from NA. Like he's Jack till he dies. you know,
Right, right. Yeah.
Arslan isn't like that. He's like I'm here to win, bro. So he's good to watch
He's
also.
what do they call it? Character loyalist is
Yeah, he's not a
Anakin.
character loyalist. So yeah, and
Got
then
it.
Knee is always good to watch on any character you play because he is not only like incredibly solid, he has a way of like boiling down a character to how to be really annoying to play against.
Mm.
So he was playing Paul against Saints Jack in like season 1 of the game, and he was just doing one quarter circle back 2, like a knockdown safe mid, like a decent range, over and over and over again. And it was so obnoxious because Saint couldn't get past it, and Nee knew that. So he just kept doing it. If Saint tries to
Okay.
counterplay that move, he's open to other shit that's like, he's like exposing himself. If he doesn't try to counterplay it and just tries to play around it, Nee's taking like no risk. It's like so hard to beat. So Nee is really good to watch. He will play a character in such a way where you're like, okay, these combos are ass. This shit is ass. But his approach to game plans and things like that is insane. It's really fun.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so knee is like high, like extremely high efficiency. Speed kicks is like he based his whole game plan around learning knee, what knee does. So
Mm.
he's like NA's knee for what it's worth. Like there's obviously
Oh,
like skill
nice.
differentials and things like that, but he's a good reference point too. But when he plays Cooney, it's so much backdashing and 2-2. He almost does nothing else.
Okay.
and he's
Cool.
just using his better defense to let you expose yourself. And then if you've proved to him that your offense isn't gonna have a bunch of holes in it, then he'll start poking you and things like that. I think I don't know if there are VODs of it, but when Glaciating played Kunimitsu, very similar. Like these two dudes in NA are like insane.
Awesome.
So if you see those.
I have a question as well. Do you think all this stuff I'm learning now will translate to Tekken 8 when it
Yes,
comes
so
out? Oh,
punishment and
okay.
with punishment are not going away.
Awesome.
Movement, it looks like they're keeping it the same from what I've seen. What Tekken 8's really gonna bring is just a lot more canned mix-up situations. So there's gonna be less things you can like sidestep out of, less things you can backdash out of. There's gonna be a lot of like you have to guess mid low here.
Okay. Awesome.
Heat system stuff. So that's really it. But
That's
yeah, my approach is I like to think my approach is pretty fundamental based, and I'm really concerned with like building skills more than developing strats. So
yes.
I'm really bad at like I love like talking to people about it, but I'm really bad at like theory crafting strategies or coming up with specific counters and game plans and things like that, or like using one character's tool set. Like there's this highly specific counter. I'm really bad at things like that, or like combo optimization.
Mm-hmm.
But I like learning like how to actually like up your game. Like a lot of people will like hit like a roadblock and they'll try to find a new strat to like cover it up. It's kind of like the American way. But what I am a big fan of is like finding weaknesses in skills and then finding a routine regimen or just plan to improve that part of ourselves. Right. So like I historically for the past 3 years have had horrible nerves. So like I'll show up to a tournament and I'll like black out, like basically like in person.
Wow.
But like online I'll like play super well. So like I have spent like years trying to like up that skill of like being able to focus, right? Because at first I thought it was just a nerves issue. Then I talked to pros like, well, everybody's nervous, so what's the difference? I'm so bad at focusing that it's not so much the nerves themselves, it's that the nerves distract me from my gameplay. So I have spent the past like 3 months only breathing when I play. Like I stopped strategizing, I stopped coming up with counterplay, things like that. I'm only breathing. And I'm just like in, out, and letting my subconscious training do everything. So that's an example of how I'm training.
You're focusing on your breath as you're playing?
Yeah. So
it's like meditating.
Yeah, exactly. I've done so much training and like practice and analysis that I understand what to do in many situations, but I cannot access that skill. So I am trusting my subconscious to do it, and I'm training the ability of my conscious to get out of the way. So like
that's pretty cool.
So like the best example is like, well, you'll probably have to play right now really cognitively because you're still learning a lot of like systems and mechanics, but like that is something that may come up eventually. Some people are really good at focusing, so I'm like, I'm ass. But like if I freaking, oh my goodness, I forgot what I was gonna say, but that's something I'm working on right now is the focus. Cool. Other people are working on like emotional management, right? So like their response to getting hit is like, why the heck would my opponent do that? That's so stupid. I'm losing to an animal. I'm like, okay, well, whatever happened, you got hit. We gotta move on. So different people will have different things to grind in that sense. And what I enjoy is kind of working on the human improvement part of it. Like, how do you get your brain and your hands to do this thing? So in that sense, I think that, yeah, like what I help you with will very likely carry over to Tekken 8 because it's more like general skill development and then like applied to Tekken.
Hell yeah. And it sounds like from what I'm reading in this doc, the pace pen is like, this is kind of more just waiting, sort of getting your punishment tools down, waiting for your opponent to make the mistake and know that, what I have to punish
those
mistakes when I see them. Okay.
So my recommendation, honestly, so we've done like 40 minutes or something. I would say take this information, kind of chew in it, watch the players, and then book a free consultation session, and I can watch you play, or we can play or something, and we can like assess from where we are with there. I think, yeah, I dumped a lot of info on you, so I'm obviously happy to keep talking if that's what you want to do, but I'm also happy to save your time and give you a free session where you can like try and apply what we just talked about.
Yeah, I'm cool with that, man. We
Cool.
can end it here, and
let me give you the to-do list. To do. KBD practice, like 2 to 5 minute warm up before ranks.
Oh, yeah. Before we drop, would you mind looking at my KBD and
Yeah,
telling
sure,
me
sure.
if any tips? But you can finish the to do.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll keep writing. You can just pull it up.
Okay.
Let's see. To do KBD practice, 2 to 5 minute warm up before ranked. Move list familiarity. Go ahead. I'm watching.
You're able to see?
Mhm.
Okay. So
That's not bad. That's pretty clean.
how's that looking?
That's pretty clean. That's clean
Is
as
it?
fuck. Yeah. Do you play on
But-
pad?
No, I play on the stick.
Yeah, damn. That's not bad.
But
Do it
are you
again. One more time.
Why does it not look? Does it look correct?
Looks great to me.
I feel like I get hit out of it or something.
Oh, okay. So you might be spending a lot of frames in crouch. No, you're doing pretty good.
Okay.
That's
Well.
a pretty solid backdash. So
Then
you see that
I will
first one where
continue.
she's kind of ducking down a bit? You can reduce
Yeah.
the time that that's happening. But in truth,
Like,
if you're getting hit out of the KBD, often that is an indication that that's a situation where you should just do regular backdash.
Okay.
That's
got it.
usually what that means. So there are situations where you're like at point blank and you want to get away. You do a single back, and then if a move doesn't come out, then you start canceling, and then you do it.
Okay. Okay.
Because yeah, if you KBD and you're not like super fast, there is the vulnerability window. That's part of it. So
Yeah. I think
that looks really
maybe
good. So practice 2P.
slow. Yeah, that is not gonna. I will do that, but I think it's not gonna come out.
Yeah, it's gonna be ass for a bit, but you want to still be able to play after a side change or something. So
Yeah.
and then
Good to
keep doing the one player side. Like your one player side is like good, but like obviously you want to get so
This
good that like
one.
you can change the
Oh my
rhythm.
God. My hand. Yeah.
Wait.
It's,
That's not bad for how you're talking about it. Are you on Japanese lever?
no, Korean.
Oh, what lever do you have?
It's the one. So I have two, but the one that's currently using that's in my hand now is Crazy Dongpaul,
Okay.
and then my wife bought me Sanjuk's one that
Okay.
I will try at some point.
I think you'll like the Sanjux one. The Dongpal I haven't played on, but from what I hear from a lot of people, it's like
It's
like
not-
polarizing, right? So
Yeah, it just feels kind of jank, honest. It feels kind of like I don't know. It's like spins around and.
yeah, so spin is pretty common among K levers. Sanjux is
Okay.
one of the ones that doesn't spin, so you'll have
Okay.
that kind of benefit.
Do you play on Korean lever?
Yeah, way too many.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, I play on the knee version 2, so it's kind of like the Sanjux, but has a bit more throw. Before I nerd out about sticks forever. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So 2P KBD practice. All yours is looking good. I would switch sooner rather than later because it'll probably take a bit, and you're still getting familiar with a lot of it. So
Sooner what?
switch levers sooner rather than later if you're gonna play on the Sanjux.
Because got it.
Because you're building all
it's
this
gonna
muscle
feel
memory, you might as well do it on the new
good
equipment.
to know.
Move list
So I
familiarity
don't need
training.
one of those. All my friends that I've like met on Discord play on this like it's like an arcade stick that doesn't have a stick. It's like a bunch of
Oh,
buttons.
hitbox. Yeah.
Yeah, and they will make their backdashes look like so clean.
I'm an
I feel like.
elitist. I think the hitbox backdash is ugly and slow.
Oh, really? Okay. Good to know. Well, I'm gonna stick to this. I can stick to this and still be fine, right?
Yeah.
The levers.
You can move really fast on a Korean lever. That's kind of the reason why it got popular, or like why people like to use it is for the movement. Like
okay.
movement canceling on a Korean lever feels really good. Japanese levers make like electrics easier for like Mishimas.
Got it.
Hitboxes are really consistent for everything. So the hitboxes are objectively good, but in Tekken it doesn't matter too much. It's not like a shooting game where there's so much analog nuance so that you need like a mouse and keyboard. In Tekken it's all digital, right? So like it really doesn't matter too much. It's just whatever you get used to. Go ahead.
No, nothing. I was just saying that's good to know. I'm happy because yeah, I got the Korean lever. Honestly, because I had an arcade stick, it was a Japanese one, and a friend of mine was like, "Try Korean, you might like it," and then
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah. Okay, let's.
Okay.
Can you see my screen
So-
still?
Yes, I can. I can.
Yeah.
still-
This is my Korean lever backdash. Like,
Oh wow, yeah.
bomb ass.
See, yeah, like that's definitely way nicer than mine because you're not even crouching at all. It
Yeah,
almost
so
looks
that's what you can work towards. And the
Got
visual
it,
part
okay.
that I use are both my character model and I turn on the display, and this is I swear to God nobody else does this. I'm just a nerd. Is I look for that. You see the status standing crouching. I try to make it flash as short as possible.
Got it.
It's some nerd shit. I literally don't know anybody who's done this. Everybody like I know laughs at me when I do this, but like this is like my favorite thing to do.
Yeah, you're insane.
Wow, I'm warming up. But yeah, this is like my favorite thing to do. I do like so much of the shit, and like so much of my fun in the game is just backdashing. So like people hate playing against me because of that. Like literally, I will just backdash till the end of time.
Nice.
Anyways, so yeah, see, to-do list, 2 PKBD practice, or I would say both sides.
Okay.
Both sides, just 2 to 5 minutes before ranked, and then move list familiarity, 1 to 2 characters per session before or after, whatever you get better at doing, and then watch the watch list above. Treasure battle, or practice mode. Treasure battle to try out new things, or just do ranked if you don't care about ranked, which is kind of optimal. This is me doing the backdash and Kuni. Like she kind of goes off screen.
Oh wow. Damn. Yeah.
Yeah, faster isn't always better, as you can probably tell. Like there's like a sweet spot where you get the max distance per backdash. Because if I do it super fast, she doesn't really go anywhere. You know?
Got it.
But if you let the backdash rock, then it goes way farther. So the skill is being able to do multiple rhythms. So if I do it like really slow, that's still good. Because it gives me these windows where I can put out my whiff punish if they whiff. If I just try to get away, I'll probably do the sweet spot one. And then sometimes I do the fast one to get them to just come in. You know, it's not super deep, but changing rhythms has its place. I wouldn't worry about it though.
And
Just
what
kind
is
of
her whiff punish? I don't know if that's in the notes. Is it?
it's not in the notes, but it's something.
But
it's something to basically keep an eye out. So like your opponent will do like strings or like this stuff like this. Oh, right. So I'm
Is there,
gonna.
like, a button I press? Is it a specific button for the whiff?
Oh yeah,
it's
down forward 2 or up forward 3.
Okay, got it. Got it.
Like that. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
This is the combo I do. And you don't like doing that. There is a cool Kuni combo that you could do. Let's see. This is the ender. It's hard. Well, it's not super hard, but it takes practice.
Awesome.
Run up, sidestep 2, and then QCF2. They're all guaranteed.
Did you play this character?
I was trying to learn her a little bit. I think she's really cool. I suck at her though.
Okay.
So this is the way to test if a combo works or not. Ground technique is side quick roll left. That's the tech roll basically. So if your combo isn't real, like if I try to do up forward 3 into down forward 2, you'll see he tech rolls, right? So it doesn't work. So this is how you can test if a combo works. And this is just me showing you that the ender works. Shit. Oh, well, I messed up the ender, but that's basically guaranteed. So,
gotcha.
Something to work on. A lot. That was like a newer Kuni combo when she came out. So not all the VODs might not have it, but the good players are doing that. I think that's everything. Yeah. So take this into your practice and let me know how it goes. You can DM me questions anytime, and yeah, we'll link up after you've gotten a chance to try this out a bit.
Okay.
Any last questions? Yeah.
No. Appreciate it. It's super helpful, man.
Yeah,
really
yeah.
Appreciate it.
I'm looking forward to playing with you and watching you play more and things like that. Yeah. Go ahead and book the free consultation, and then I'll just take a look at how your progress is, and then we will go from there. Whether we want to do VOD review, spectate, or we play games with each other, it depends.
Okay. Cool. Sounds good. Well, take care, man.
Yep. Have a good one. Catch you later.